Mr. Little, for what purpose?
Does the gentleman yield for questions?
Gentleman yield for questions?
Yes.
He yields for questions.
Chairman Leach, I need you to help resolve some questions for this body. There's been some confusion over the last 24 to 48 hours about judicial pay. We passed a judicial pay bill out of this chamber and de-linked it from our own pensions and from the senators' pensions. My understanding is that the Senate has removed your amendment de-linking that judicial pay from our pensions. So surely there must be some mistake that the senators intended judicial pay to be contingent upon an increase to our pensions, correct?
So thank you, Representative Little. Let me try my best to set the record straight. The House has worked for a long time, for many years, on substantial increases to our judicial compensation, which is something that I believe, Representative Little, and I know you agree, is approaching an emergency for our state, being able to recruit new judges and retain the judges we have. We are woefully inadequate compared to other states in the bottom 5. And in response to that, I've been working collaboratively with Senator Huffman this session, who I'm so grateful for, on judicial accountability and transparency measures and a meaningful 25% base pay increase for our district judges. And I so appreciate her willingness to work with me on that, and we had reached an agreement. The House passed our version of Senate Bill 293, which contained some of those transparency and reporting measures, and also that 25% pay increase. And to your point, we finally delinked our legislative retirement. Some legislators, and certainly the public, may not be aware that legislators, House members, and senators receive a pension, if you serve long enough, that is linked, and it has long been this way, that is linked to the base pay of a district judge, which right now in statute is $140,000. We are raising that base pay in statute in Senate Bill 293, 25%. In the House version that we voted on, that overwhelmingly passed this House, we delinked, so the legislators stay at 140, and our judges get a base pay increase. I do not believe, speaking for me, that this is the right way for us to consider and or pass increases to our legislative retirement, Representative Little. I do believe, and I'll say this publicly, that we need to have a conversation in this state about statewide compensation for elected officials. We need to have a conversation about what we pay the governor. We need to have a conversation about what we pay the lieutenant governor, the speaker, all of you. I am concerned that we are keeping good people from running for office because they can't afford it. And I'm willing to and eager to have that conversation with each of you, with my constituents, with my grassroots. I think it's the conservative position and the conservative policy for this state for us to make serving in office affordable. So I was hopeful that the Senate would concur with our changes. I was expectant that they would. They attempted to, although I don't think they did it the right way last night, send it back over to us, whereby we would increase judicial pay and also give ourselves and the senators a legislative pension increase. I don't know if that was their intent, but that is not something that I am willing to do.
Well, Chairman Leach, I think it was very clear from the State of the Judiciary address from Supreme Court Justice Blacklock that there is an emergent need for an increase for judicial pay in this state. I think everyone in our chamber, or almost everyone, agrees with that. I just don't think it was the Senate's intent, surely, to force the members of this chamber to vote themselves an emolument or some benefit from the state of Texas in order to address that emergent need. Do you think that that was what the intent was?
I don't want to. I've had a number of conversations with senators over the past many days about this, and I don't want to suppose their intent. I will tell them that Senate Bill 293 is not in front of this body right now. Senate Bill 293, even with what the Senate did last night, is still over in the Senate. So I know you've been getting calls from your judges today who are concerned about what the House might do. We have no Senate Bill 293 in front of us. The Senate still has an opportunity and time left in this session to approve substantial, much-needed, long-awaited pay raises for our judges. All they have to do is to vote yes to concur with Senate Bill 293. that would delink us, and Representative Patterson just came up to me and made sure I made clear to you and to the public that we do not receive a $140,000 pension. It is simply a percentage of that $140,000. So I wanted to clear that up. Representative Little, I don't know their intent, but I can tell you that if they want judges to get a pay raise, then they should move to concur with the House changes to Senate Bill 293. And in the interim, in next session, we can have and should have a conversation about legislative compensation, including our retirement benefits.
Well, Chairman Leach, I'm not pension eligible, but I know that there are judges that are awaiting this pay increase, and I hope they will do that as well.
I hope they get it, and I've done everything to make sure that that's possible. Thank you, Representative Little.